We are beginning to explore chapter 28 together. So first of all, let's define the word machshava zara, or a foreign thought. So when we use this term in Tanya, we're talking about any thought that's foreign to this moment. Any thought that's going to distract me and take me out of the power, the brilliance, the ability to just fully be in this activity. Now, that could be a permitted thought, right? But a permitted pleasure, or it could be sinful in nature. But in our context right now, it doesn't actually matter whether it's just about a permitted pleasure or if it's sinful in nature. The fact is, it's foreign to this moment, and therefore it's distracting me. It's taking me out of this moment. And all of our power relies in being able to be in this moment right now and use my 10 soul powers in this moment. The moment one of these thoughts pulls me out of that, that's the issue in this context, less so what the content of that thought is. And really, this shows us how valuable we are. That God constantly wants us in a state of mindfulness, present to the avoda, to the opportunity of this moment. Meaning, if we weren't so important, so daydream, get lost in distraction. Spend your whole day just in constant distraction. No, we are so valuable. We are so needed. Every single moment is such a unique godly potential that the ability for us to be present is absolutely substantial. So here's the scenario. Red alert, okay? You are praying and a sinful or mundane thought just entered your head. What are you supposed to do? So I always like to remember that the Alter Rebbe is addressing people's real spiritual questions, right? People are coming to him for a decade or more, and with all these different real spiritual questions, and he's addressing them methodically throughout the Tanya. So the question that I imagine someone having here is, I'm praying and I'm working so hard to pray, and then these sinful thoughts or these just mundane thoughts enter my head. So are my prayers worthless? Like, how am I supposed to view myself? How am I supposed to view my prayer? Or you're just someone coming to the altar and more so crying and saying, no matter what I do, my prayers are always filled with these machshava zaras, these foreign thoughts. So first we're going to see the tzaddik's approach. How is the tzaddik supposed to approach foreign thoughts coming up in his mind during prayer? So the Baal Shem Tov's approach for tzaddikim is as follows. The Baal Shem Tov, meaning the teacher of the Alter Rebbe who wrote the Tanya, right? It goes to Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid, and then the Alter Rebbe, is realize the emotion that you're experiencing, and you'll turn that towards God. For example, I'm feeling love of a forbidden pleasure or love of a permitted pleasure in the midst of davening. So take that power of love and just transfer it. Just slide it right on over to a love for God. Or I'm feeling fear of my boss, fear of something not going well. So just take that fear and transfer over to my genuine fear of God. Just transfer the emotion towards something holy. So why does that approach work with tzaddikim? Is that tzaddikim's sinful or self-indulgent thoughts are not coming from their own animal soul. They're picking up on others' negativity. Therefore, they have the inner space and height to explore it and elevate it, because they're not caught up in it, they're not tied in it, and therefore they have that elevation to really be able to look at it objectively and deal with it and handle it. Like if someone else is covered in silly putty and you're just helping them take it off, it's very different than trying to get it off yourself, and meanwhile you're getting it in your hair, when it's not you, there's a lot more objectivity and space involved. So how did that enter the tzaddik's head? How did that happen that they're being involved in someone else's machshava zara? It's because tzaddikim are spiritually sensitive. So when someone else is having machshava zara, foreign thought, they pick up in it and they can actually elevate it for that person. Meaning the reason it's coming to them is because there's someone else in the room, or tzaddikim are we're not limited to space, right? And in reality, no one's equal to space. Limited to space, right? They're connected in an energetic way, so they could be connecting someone else's thought across the world and help that person elevate. And the reason it's coming to them is because they have the ability, the objectivity, that bird's eye view to be able to elevate it. So, attention Beinanim, do not try this at home, okay? Unless you have unique tzaddik status, in which case, please call me and tell me everything you know, okay? But unless you have that, no, this is not our approach, okay? So when you have inappropriate thoughts, right, these machshava zaras, these foreign thoughts, why is it inappropriate? It's inappropriate to the moment at hand, caused by the evil in one's left heart, right, the left chamber of one's heart, sorry, now we have two hearts, but the left chamber of our heart, and they pop into your mind, how can you possibly lift them upwards when you yourself are tied down? Right? These are the all words of the Alter Rebbe. If I myself am tied down, how am I supposed to free myself? So if I'm going to start wrestling with this foreign thought and trying to figure out its source and psychoanalyzing it and turning that emotion to a positive emotion, like, no, I'm just going to get more tied up in this cobweb. Because I don't have any objectivity here, because it's my own animal soul having this thought, this is not the approach for Beinoni. So what is the Tani's approach to one's dark side? Really, it's accepting it. Okay, I have a dark side. So what? Okay, I have an animal soul that's throwing out these foreign thoughts or inappropriate or sinful thoughts. The approach one may mistakenly make that the Alter Rebbe is warning against is psychoanalyzing and trying to elevate one's dark side while still being completely entangled within it. If I start wrestling with my dark side, meaning, oh, really, I'm having this fear of other people, but I'm going to elevate it to fear of God, I'm starting to wrestle with my dark side when I'm already tied into it. I'm already caught up in the cobweb. And so that is not the time. I do not have the objectivity or the bird's eye view on that moment to really start dealing with it. And so the approach to one's dark side in that moment is, yeah, okay, so foreign thoughts are coming up. Okay, so negativity is coming up. So what? I'm not going to make that mean anything about myself. And I'm not going to start trying to pick it apart because I don't have that inner space. So let's look at this, okay? Why is this thought coming to you during prayer, right? You're starting thinking about your grocery list. You're thinking about what kind of interior designer to get, right? You're thinking about how you might need to buy a new car seat. You're thinking about, do I need a new juicer? What should I eat for lunch? You're thinking about, why is she wearing that? Ugh, like, does she like see like colors or patterns? Like you're judging someone. Like you're in your stuff, you know? So why is that happening during prayer? One, option A is because you're a bad person. That's it. You're a bad person. Case closed. Or because of how powerful you are. So at this point in Chabad Hasidus, we can safely guess that it's going to be because of how powerful you are, because it's really all about empowering us. The Tanya is a book of empowerment. So what's happening is that the Yetzer Hara is getting overthrown, so it's going all out. I'm going to quote the Alter Rebbe for you. Just like in a wrestling match, when one person is winning, the competitors try to make a comeback with all its might. When your divine soul intensifies its energy to pray, the klipa, where the opposing force, the negativity, intensifies itself against your divine soul. To disorient your divine soul and to derail it with an inappropriate thought. Meaning the negative thoughts, or these just the foreign distracting thoughts are coming, not because your prayers are worthless, because your prayers are so powerful. You are winning. You as a human being in a physical body, in a physical world, are having a divine moment. You're doing it, okay? This is the mission statement of creation, okay? This is what it was all for, and you're actually doing it. Hello, you think the klipa is gonna just sit back and take it? Just like in a physical fight. Okay, one person throws a punch, whatever. But when the other person realizes no, they're actually gonna win, they use all their might, meaning the harder that the klipa is coming in, the more intense the foreign thoughts are coming, that shows how powerful your prayer is, because you're actually winning. Your prayers are actually extraordinarily powerful. The connection and the intimacy with God in this moment is extraordinarily real. So this doesn't show that your prayers are fake or disgenuine. No, it shows how real and how powerful they are. So, okay, so this is our little comic we made for you guys, okay? So on the screen you see, like Hasidic bragging. I had foreign thoughts while praying. Did you? Right? Because if foreign thoughts mean that my prayers are so powerful, it's like, check me out. Like, I had 100 foreign thoughts during davening. How many did you have, right? It's a twist on the whole perspective.